Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time to look at the last couple of things that are happening astrologically in the month of November. I do want to just sort of give a brief sort of overview of the numbers and the Kabbalah. We'll start with that, and then we'll go right to the week. There's three major things happening today and this week, sorry. And they all have a little bit of a story, I think, that we need to hear. So let's um let's get started. Before we dive in completely, I want to welcome my subscribers, new ones that have just joined this party, and my tried and true who have followed me for years and have been walking this path. We've been walking this path together. And it's been a long and arduous path, and it looks like perhaps, well, either way, whatever happens, and I know people are like, it happens, but whatever happens, the path is going to be a bit rocky and treacherous and ahead. So we will walk that path together. So, all right, let's dive in. All righty. So I want to start this with just a review of the basic numerology. There's only three things happening. I'm going to try to keep this short. I've put a lot of videos out this week, so I don't want to overwhelm you, but I think that the more information we have, perhaps uh, the better we'll navigate. Okay, now. There we go. All right, so we're just going to go over the numerology. I did this in a separate video at the beginning of the month, taking into consideration that we are in an 8 universal year vibration. That 8 vibration on the tree of life sits here between the Sephiroth of Hesed, which is Jupiter, Sephiroth, and Mars, Gabura, which is Mars, Sephiroth. Um, as we sit here today, Mars is in Leo. And actually moving quite slowly because on the 6th of December, it will station retrograde. So a lot of this sort of forward movement is going to be reevaluated over. So things that have moved forward are going to be reevaluated in December. So just December and January. And things probably are not going to clear up until March, April of next year when we actually see what this retrograde cycle would be about. But as we sit here in this month and in next month, Mars in Leo, this month direct, next month retrograde is uh, big energy, and it's all happening in an opposition to Pluto in Aquarius, power to the people energy. So, but also chaos energy and technology energy. And it's very possible that there was some sort of technological abuse of power. But it did happen when Pluto was still in Capricorn, so it's hard that I'm not quite. I mean, the jury's out, we'll say. And who's the jury? We're the jury. We're the jury. Okay. Uh, 8 is associated with the Strength card, Leo, in astrology. The 8 vibration, um, when awakened and developed, becomes the mastermind, working for the cause of humanity, and finds its perfect reward in the great accomplishment. It is the 19th path on the tree of life, the intelligence of all spiritual beings and activities. Um, this is the Kundalini energy coming up the spine. It is associated with Leo, and it is exclusively located in the throat chakra. Here is the Hebrew letter associated with this path, Taith, which is snake, Okay, so then we look at the month vibration. The month vibration is an 11. 11 is connected to the sign of Libra. And on the tree of life, it connects Gabura, which is the place of severity, of cutting away the extraneous, and Tippereth, which is about mediation and balance. It is, she holds the sword of Gabura in one hand and the balance, the scales of um, Tippereth in the other. She is blind in this. Um, this is more symbolic, I think, of a of man's justice. However, cosmic justice, like when you look at the justice card in most decks, justice has got her eyes wide open, right? Okay, so this is a spiritual teacher, vibration, a visionary, peacemaker, whose desire is to illuminate the world with his vision of harmony and cooperation. 11 wants to balance the feminine and the masculine energies, and in doing so, achieve balance. This is from a book called Numerology, The Power of Numbers by Ruth Dreher. This is the 22nd path on the tree of life, the faithful intelligence, the faith that all in life tends towards balance and wholeness. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not feeling so balanced right now. And wholeness, well, I work on that. I do work on that. But things do not compute, certainly in my energy field right now. Um, it's what I feel in my heart and soul and what my mind is telling me, or what the collective mind perhaps is convinced of. Here is the Hebrew letter is Lamed, meaning ox goad. It's also an energy of teacher. Okay, so, and then if we add these two vibrations together, we get a 19-1 vibration. This is a karmic debt number, and so this month of November is a highly karmic energy. So I want to read about the 19-1 vibration because this is also the vibration that the United States, in its personal year journey, is in the 19-1. We started a new cycle here in the US. If you go by the birth of the nation being July 4th, 1776. July 4th vibrates to an 11, and we add the universal year vibration of an 8, which makes it 19. And so we voted, the America voted, and we'll see, right? It's she lost everything, and then it's a lance, it's a thing, and now it's down to a sliver. It has come down to a sliver, and we'll see what that sliver might be, if that is going to hold, and if it doesn't, what that might mean, and if it does, what that might mean, right? Okay, so the central lesson for this number is that you stubbornly resist help. Much of your independence is self-imposed. You simply don't want to listen to others or accept help or advice. We learn that no one is an island and that we need each other. How about that? This is the 30th path on the tree of life. It is completely within the lower self, the triad of the personality. It is called the collecting intelligence. It is connected to the sun card in the tarot, time of illumination, and the path of emotional intelligence. What are your feelings telling you, guys? What are your feelings telling you? You are reborn through attaining a singleness of mind. The Hebrew letter is resh or resh. I'm part of my Hebrew. Don't speak it. Pretty obvious to those who do speak it, I think, which means face, countenance, right? Your face. What are you facing? What have we decided to face? Okay. All right. So let's now jump all the way through, which is going to be maybe you shouldn't look at this because it's a little Oh, this is the month, guys. Oops, I went right off the page. Sorry, guys. Let me find this. I should have been paying attention. I should have been paying closer attention to that. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. Now we're in the last week. First thing to happen Monday. Mercury goes retrograde. Strangely enough, the Sabian symbol for Mercury going retrograde, a group of immigrants as they fulfill the requirements of entrance to a new country. Now, the world is upside down, isn't it? Okay. Tuesday, the 26th, we have Venus making inconjunct to Jupiter. This energy, and we're going to dig into this because this I think is important. Venus in conjunct Jupiter, you often find yourself overextending, swept up by an overly optimistic view of what you and the world can accomplish together. Yeah, so we're having a little bit of a adjustment to the feelings that we're having about things, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. And then Wednesday, we have the sun making a trine to Mars. This is the harnessing the energy for positive growth, a trine of creative self-expression. This was actually part of the synodic cycle of the sun and Mars. It is a 2-year cycle where pretty much, every cycle is 360 degrees, and we're about at the 120-degree point. That first trine, that Leo trine between the relationship between the sun and Mars. And of course, the sun is who we are, and Mars is our energy. It's how we assert ourselves. And so whatever was the initial input of this assertion of self in this round of things is happened at let's see, Wednesday. Okay, wait, sun trining Mars, harnessing the energy of positive growth, a time of creative self-expression, of seeds planted at the Mars Sun conjunction, and that actually occurred last November, so um, over actually a year ago, November 18th. That day was a 10 of Wands day, the burden bearer, and don't we feel like we're carrying quite a lot of burdens? And it is that 36-9 vibration is a Sagittarius vibration, and it really is like we have all these beliefs, and I think it's time for us to drop some of those beliefs, but we'll see. The Sabian symbol was at 26 degrees of Scorpio. That's where the conjunction happened. And it says Indians making camp adaptability. We must learn how to respond to the changing environmental conditions within which we live, trusting that we can find whatever we need and wherever we go. So our needs will be met, but it requires adaptability. There really is, I'm getting a sense of um, perhaps the direction forward, but we're not going to really have a sense of things, I think, until after December, and until after we've moved through December a bit. But we'll be looking at all of that. So let's look at the charts. Here's the Mercury retrograde chart. There it is at 23 degrees. A group of immigrants discovering essence. This is from the website jamesburgess.com. He's got a wonderful section on the Sabian symbols, which this group of immigrants is a Sabian symbol. Any big change demands of us that we hold firm to the deepest parts of our integrity while adapting to new conditions, courageously discovering our place in life. So perhaps we are not where we thought we would be, where we felt we would be, where we saw we would be, and now we have to learn to not lose the core of that, the heart of that, and yet move through the world making adaptations to the plan, right? That's what this is talking about. And that theme actually is seen in the next thing we're going to look at. But let's just continue here. So Sagittarius, is a sign associated with what we believe to be true, what we believe to be true. The vibration of the day is the Two of Cups. This is a Two of Cups day, the 42-6, which is about where our responsibility lies. And it really is, it's an energy of connection and finding people that you can relate to sort of um, bring in that need for connection with each other in order to uh, adapt, in order to work within the parameters that we're going to have, so to speak. Okay. Mercury is retrograde from November 25th through December 15th. And at that point, it turns direct at 7 degrees of Sag. The pre-shadow of this was November 8th. What's a pre-shadow? That means that's when Mercury reached the point where it would uh, turn direct after the retrograde station. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyway, so that was November 8th. That was also the day of the second hit of the United States, Chiron return. I do have, I have a whole presentation on Chiron return, the Chiron return, and I've wanted to do it all year because the Chiron return started this year and ends, I think, in April of 2025. That's the last time Chiron hits Chiron, and then we wait another 52 years, of which I probably won't be around to see. So you guys, who's ever out there at that time, will be going through this again, or hopefully with more awareness. And so we have one more of the Chiron, but we do want to get that out. I might have to do that either on the as a membership thing, membership and Patreon special, and then maybe I can make it available to folks. I'll have to see. I'll have to see. I have to get it together. There's so much to do. There's so much to do and so much to see and so much to organize. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, anyway, and then the post shadow January 3rd. So by January 3rd, um, it goes direct on the 15th of December, but it isn't until January 3rd that we actually have a sense of coming out of that retrograde energy. So that's interesting, is it not? Okay, so there's a lot, it's just a lot. All right, I'm not going to get into that because I want to just do the astrology for you guys. For other stuff, we could do a separate video. Now, the next major aspect happens on Tuesday, the 26th, which incidentally is a Five of Cups day. This Five of Cups illustration pretty much, I think, describes where we're at right now, especially women. And this is a Venus aspect. Venus in conjunct Jupiter. Venus, of course, is in Capricorn, and Venus in Capricorn likes to do a good job, but she's in conjunct to Jupiter. Fostering realistic expectations about yourself and the world is crucial. This doesn't mean curbing your enthusiasm being the God within, but rather channeling it in ways that are sustainable and genuinely fulfilling. Reflect on what your energy is best invested, or where your energy is best invested, and what truly brings you joy. How can boundaries serve as, this is the question you ask, how can boundaries serve as bridges to more meaningful and balanced interactions? Okay. We're going to have to put our big girl and our big boy pants on and face the future, knowing who we are in our heart of hearts and what matters to us. Venus deals with your values. your essential needs. What is essential? And in Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn, what is essential for me to be an authority in my own life? And Jupiter in Gemini says we have to look at the massive facts on the ground. All right. This is the time in the synodic cycle between Venus and Jupiter that we must make our message more palatable to society. The original intent of this cycle is seen in the degree of the Venus-Jupiter conjunction. That was at 30 degrees of Taurus on 5/23, 2024. That was also a 10 of Wands day, 36/9, the burden bearer. And then we have the Sabian symbol for Taurus, a peacock parading on an ancient lawn. Yeah, peacocks are pretty and they're really noisy. And they do like to floof their feathers. I think that I don't know if we would call what's on the lawn a peacock, but certainly perhaps acts like a peacock, and I'll just leave it there. I'll just leave it there. And then on the 27th, this is the last major aspect, we have a trine between the Sun and Mars. It's waxing, so it has that energy of creativity. It's highly creative. So this is really quite hot and quite fiery. And it's actually part of a grand trine to the north node of the moon, which is actually ruled by Mars. And the Sun is exalted in Aries. So this is very, very powerful. And I would suggest to you, with the South Node, we have very powerful kite here. This is about, and this is for the U.S. And thank you for those who do not live here. But we have the Sun in the house of our values. We have Mars in our sense of authority in the outer world. Now we want to be strong. We want to be brave, right? The home of the free and the land of the brave. Isn't that what Mars in Leo is kind of about? And so it's up there proud, and it's pointing to the Aries energy in the house of service. This is also the house of the military. The Sun in Sag, illuminating our beliefs in freedom. Okay. And this is very, very powerful. And so the energy of the North Node is saying that we need to start something new in what it means to be of service, perhaps, to not just ourselves, which is Aries, so that's important, but also to the world at large, and in certain the financial situation here, perhaps. So embrace the surge of energy and creativity you feel during this time. It is an opportune moment to initiate projects you've been postponing. So all those things I said I need to do. Of course, let's just remind everybody that when this happens, Mercury's retrograde, and that in, let's see, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 days after this, Mars goes retrograde. In pretty much the next degree, I think. It's like around the next degree, maybe 6 or 7 degrees of Leo, which is on the north node of the US, by the way. So this is big. This is big. This is big energy. I think that a lot is going to happen in the next 2 months between now and the time that the next president takes office, right? So there's going to be a lot of activity. Almost, it might even be almost too much for us to even keep track of. But there's a lot of information coming out. So the Sun is at 6 of Sag, a game of cricket, group consciousness. There is much to learn about ourselves by finding how to relate well to a group shared goals and disciplines, participating in communal activities. So that's what the sun is saying. You play together well, perhaps, right? And then we have Mars and Leo, an old-fashioned woman and an up-to-date girl, impermanence of values. What is thought important, moral, or even courteous changes very quickly from one generation to the next. Being indifferent uh, to the fashions of morality and values. I don't know, guys. I don't know. And then we're moving into a month of judgment. Next month, this month in November, we're in the vibration of the sun. And then next month, we move into the vibration um, of the judgment card, right? Rising up from the dead, the awakened soul. We're going to be awakened to something next month. And it's still under wraps, so we'll see what it is, and we'll see it together. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your comments. I really appreciate your attention. That we are at a vital point in our evolution, and evolution is not for sissies, and nobody who's watching me is a sissy. Anyway, when I was a kid, like the worst thing you could have called me was a sissy. I probably would have been a little safer if I had a different attitude, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, guys, I'll see you for the December astrology, the first week. Holy shkibibbles, it's a biggie. It's a biggie. Nothing is written in stone yet, guys. Nothing is written in stone. Is it going to come out exactly the way we want it, even remotely the way we want it? I don't know. But whatever it is, we're going to be here together and we're gonna look for the light. We're gonna look for those stars that Kamala talked about. Take care, everyone. Namaste. Have a great Thanksgiving. Be thankful. Count your blessings. Take care.